this time of filming, it's finally December and we can now really get into the spirit of Christmas. The biggest Christmas film this year has now been out for at least 3 or 4 weeks now, and that is The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, directed by Dallas Jenkins, who also is known to be the director of The Chosen. In this episode, I'll be sharing my thoughts on this movie. And don't worry, no spoilers in this video. I'll only be showing you some scenes that you might have already seen in the trailers. I'll also be including some of my reflections on the general theme of this movie. So if you're up for that, then stay tuned. Hello friends and family! Welcome to the channel, and if you're new here, my name is Hannah, and this ministry aims to give you timeless Bible inspiration through the changing culture. And speaking of culture, once in a while I do reviews of some of the faith-based films that come out in the theaters. Just in case this is the first time you're encountering this movie, I'll be putting a little synopsis in the description below, so feel free to pause this video before you move on. Alright, let's get to the review. Now, this might not have been the very first time you've heard of this story before. You might know this because it was based on a classic book with the same title that came out in 1972, or you might have seen the old movie from 1983. I honestly watched this 40-ish minute old movie the same night I watched the new movie in the theaters. Can you tell I really liked it? While the story is pretty much the same since they're both based on the classic book, I loved a few things they changed and added to this new film. Kind of fixing some of the loopholes from the first movie and making some characters pop out more so we could get more of the intended message. The setting is quite similar too. Now let me tell you that before I watched this new movie, I did not get to do much research on it, so I didn't know exactly about what year the movie was set. But with the subtle clues they were giving in the movie, kids didn't have phones yet or computers. There were already colored TVs. The husband and I guessed that it would probably be around the 80s. But whatever timeline it was, it definitely had an old school vibe, which brings me back to the time when I was still a kid watching some of the Christmas classics. Now let's go to the characters. They did have some familiar faces in the movie industry. Judy Greer, Pete Holmes, and Lauren Graham. And all of them understood the assignment. But they also had some really good child actors. Fun fact, the child actress who played young Beth, Molly Bell Wright, once gave a TED Talk when she was 7 years old, and she's British.
Herdmans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world.
I did not suspect that at all. But one of my personal favorite child actors is Beatrice Schneider, the one who played Imogen. She really did show the emotion the film needed in each scene that she was in. Did I say watch the movie so you know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's talk about cinematography. As a content creator myself and someone who is learning about taking photos and videos on my own, again, I can't help but notice how well done their camera shots were. I'm someone who likes warm colors, and the shots showed just that. I mean, it is a Christmas film, right? So you would see warm colors. I can't help comparing it to the 1983 version too. It is expected that the cinematography would be better, but really, I can see that they did not go cheap on this aspect, so they could tell the story super well. Props to Dallas Jenkins and the team on that. Speaking of the story, with how the film industry has been doing in terms of content, this movie was just refreshing. Jesus was all over this movie, and it did not just focus on Mary, but also it gave some recognition to Joseph and how important his role in the story was too. Then going back to culture, I like that there were a lot of questions raised about the Christmas story, and they were very practical. I don't want to talk about the specifics or else I'll spoil it. Go watch it. If there is something that I would say that I didn't like, it's probably the expectation that was set with regard to the humor in the movie. Don't get me wrong though, there were a lot of moments that were pretty funny, especially at the beginning. But the movie does get a little more serious yet meaningful as the story unfolds. That's just a little observation, which is not entirely bad. I will say, I do remember tearing up and just reflecting on the movie while the credits rolled. Then, while my family and I were eating dinner, we just kept talking more about the movie. Here are some of my realizations. First, we really need to take time to appreciate what Christmas means. Jesus Christ was born. We hear this every year, but this good news should not get old. Our Savior was born. And with that, here's another one. Don't miss the chance to give love and grace to anyone, especially the unlovable. And that convicts me too. Yes, there are some people in church that can be frustrating to deal with. People who are too much into tradition.
It's about community
and tradition.
What do you all suggest, that I kick the Herdmans out of the church?
Yes.
Or sometimes there are people who are judgmental to people who don't really go to church a lot.
You don't look like any Mary I've seen before.
Just in case there are any Herdman-like people in your life, remember that Christ loved them and died for them too. Another is keep on sharing the good news, whatever means available. There are so many resources we have now, whether it be sharing the gospel by mouth, YouTube videos, books that you can share to your friends, also movies. And hopefully all of these things can help stir a conversation about the gospel. Go watch it. And if you've already watched it, what do you think about it? Share your comments below. I just love that faith-based films have been getting better and better. Check out this Christmas movie review that I made before. Or for more Christmas-themed content, check out this playlist. If this video blessed you, give it a like, subscribe for more content like this and other things Bible, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a video. If you want to support this channel, drop a super thanks or check out the options in the description below. Our hope and future is in Jesus. See you in the next video.